Chapter 1.7, Graphing Functions. Graph y equals 1/2 x with domain 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. The easiest way to solve a problem like this is to make an input-output chart, like this one over here. On the left we put our inputs, so 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, those were our domains listed here. And on the right we're going to go ahead and calculate our outputs. So y, which is our output value, equals 1/2 x, and we can start substituting our input values for x in the equation. So we have y equals 1/2 times our first x value, which is 0. So we get y equals 0, and that's what we put here. For our second one, we say again y equals 1/2 x, so y equals 1/2 multiplied by our x value, which is 2. Y equals 2 over 2, which equals 1. So by multiplying things by 1/2, we're basically dividing the x value by 2 every time. 0 divided by 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now use graph paper or a graph you draw yourself. You can do that for these problems where the numbers are low, so we only go from 0 through 4 here, 0 through 8 here, and create a coordinate plane. So this over here, this is the x-axis, and this is your y-axis. You should have seen some graphing of points before, and if you haven't, be sure to ask your teacher to help you with that. Each input-output value pair will give you an ordered pair. So ordered pairs are when we have x, comma, y. So here, our x value is 0, and our y value is 0, and that's for this one here. Next, your x value is 2, and your y value is 1. So 2, 1. Then we have 4, comma, 2, 6, comma, 3, and 8, comma, 4. So remember, you have to do your x values first, and then you plot your y values. So make sure you label your axis. I'm going to label these by 2, so this corner one's 0. This line will be 2, 4, 6, and 8. So our biggest value is 8, so we'll label up to there. And then on the y-axis, 2, 4, 6, and 8. You can choose to label every single value if you want, or you can skip and choose like I did. So our first point is 0, 0. So we'll go ahead and draw a point right here at 0, 0. And that's this one. Our next value is 2, 1. So we go over 2 on the x-axis, and we go up 1 on the y-axis because the y value is 1. And we'll put a point right there. Our third point is 4, comma, 2, so your x value is 4, your y value is 2. So we go over 4 on the x-axis, because that's our x value, and we go up 2, and you'll have a point right there. Then we have 6, 3, so we go over 6 on the x-axis, up 3 on the y-axis. Put a point there. And our last one is 8, 4, so we go over 8 on the x-axis and up 4 on the y-axis. And there you have it. You've graphed y equals 1/2 x with a domain of 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. In the future, we'll be drawing a line through these points and creating lines, but for now, all you need to do is draw the points. This question tells us to write an equation for the graph. To do that, we're first going to write out all of the ordered pairs. So here we go over 1 on the x-axis and up 2 on the y-axis. And I'll go ahead and label my axes. That's x. This is y. So like I just said, we go over 1 and up 2. So x comes first in an ordered pair. So we have our x value, comma, y value, which here for the first point is 1, comma, 2. For our next point, we go over 2 and up 3. So that is 2, comma, 3. Then for our next point, which is this one here, our x value, if we drop down, you can also look at it this way. If you drop down, your x value is 3, and your y value is 4. We'll look at the next point the same way. So if you look at the point here, look down, your x value is 4, and your y value is 5. So we have 4, 5. So now we have 4 points, and our last point, which is this one here, is 5, and the x value, 6. So we have 5, 6. So now we have all of our pairs, ordered pairs, in the form x, y. So that means everything coming down from here in the first place is x, everything after the comma is y. So our domains, or our inputs, are x's, so we can go ahead and substitute those into the input box. So we have 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are our domains. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we want to go ahead and find all of the y values. So on this side we have, for 1 is paired with 2, so we do a 2 here. 2 is paired with 3. Our next one is 4, 5, and 6. So 4, 5, and 6. And always go back and double check to make sure your ordered pairs look the same. So the last one is 5, 6, 5, 6, 4, 5, 4, 5, 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, and 1, 2. Making a chart was just one step to help us find the equation for the graph. This allows us to better see the relationship between the x values and the y values. So take a minute to look at this chart over here and see if there's any pattern you can find out between x and y. Please pause your video to do that. So maybe you've noticed that each y value is 1 greater than every x value. So our first x value is 1. 1 plus 1 would give you a y value of 2. 2 plus 1 would give you the y value of 3. 3 plus 1 gives you 4. 4 plus 1, 5. 5 plus 1, 6. So we know on one side of our equation we're going to have y, which is our output value, and that has to be a function of x. So we're going to say y equals our x value, some relation to our x value, which would be x, and we decided that every y value was 1 more. So we're going to say x plus 1 will give you y. Now make sure you go back and test it. So we'll do one of them right now. I'm going to go ahead and test this one. So we have y, which is 4, equals our x value, which is 3, plus 1. And y, so this is a 4. 4 equals 3 plus 1, which is 4. 4 equals 4. That's true, and we know it's correct. Make sure you go through and check a couple other points, because in order for that to be an equation or a rule for that graph, it has to be true for every single point.